Hello everyone. We're going to take a look at the supplies for this mixed media project, starting with the very basic essentials. Tone paper. And we've got two options here. This is the first one. It comes in a spiral notebook, usually like 50 sheets. This is 9 by 12 size, and it's 80 pound, which is going to be comparable to your regular sketch pad. It means it's going to accept dry media better than wet media. So if you plan to do some painting, it's not the most efficient surface for that. But they do make a 184 pound, so as you're looking at the weight down here, that will accept some mixed media. So if you are interested in painting a little bit with the ink wash or a little bit of white gouache, then this will be a better surface. And even if you aren't, it's a more stable surface. It's going to accept a little bit more wear, so you can hear it snapping. It's got a little bit more surface, like a piece of Bristol. So once you've got the tone paper, regular graphite pencils, whether you're using mechanical or not, will do really well on the surface. It's just like drawing on Bristol. And then a white Prismacolor pencil, which is one of the more opaque whites in the brands of colored pencils that are out there. You can do this whole project just with those materials, but you do have all kinds of other media that are available to you as long as it's black and white. So we can start with the ink wash, similar to one of our previous projects. Whatever India ink that you're using that's permanent and waterproof will be usable here. You'll need your paintbrushes. It can be useful if you are interested in comics at any point to get a smaller brush, like a 1 or a 0, so that you can actually line some of your forms with a brush line rather than a pen line. But pens, there's all kinds of pens. You can start with the felt tip pens like these. This is Staedtler. Copic makes a brand. Microns are pretty good for this. They're waterproof. You can do a wash over top of them, and they should still maintain their sharpness. Pens beyond that, I will do a lot with these. Oftentimes they're nibs, metal points for drawing. They have a pen holder, and it slots in there. And when you're looking at the nib, you can splay it out if you put some pressure on it, and that's going to release the flow of the ink. We'll talk about that in another video. But they come in a couple different sizes. Speedball makes a set for drawing and sketching that's pretty good. Good beginner set. But if you look at my supply list, I have a list of basic nibs that I found pretty easy to work with when I was just getting started. And then I keep them in a little tin. What else can we use? Charcoal pencils. This is Primo brand, but the Generals brand is good too. This is a Conte pencil, Pierre Noir B, 1710. You need that number if you look this up online. All right, we have a white pastel pencil and another. This is sort of like a colored pencil, similar to the Prismacolor, just a different brand, Polychromos by Faber-Castell. And the first one here, Pastel, is Stabilo by Carpethello. And with the Conte, sometimes you'll find a set that has black, white, and a sanguine or brown color. These are useful as well. So we'll take a look at how opaque some of those whites get in another video. The white gel pen. This is one of the more opaque ones, Uniball Signo. What else can we use? White gouache, which is opaque watercolor. Doesn't have any transparency, so it'll go on pretty intensely opaque, pretty white. There's going to be very little gray showing through. And last but not least, some of your studies may have been done in marker. This can be used as a tone over top of the tone paper. It can be used to tone some white paper. So just because I had a pad of gray paper doesn't mean I couldn't take a nice piece of Arches or some other brand of watercolor paper, do an ink wash over top of that, and use my black and white media back into this. Likewise, I could use the markers to tone a surface and draw back into those. So we have a lot of range. to choose from. Use what you are comfortable with, but also consider throwing something new into it. If we're in school here, we're hopefully trying to push ourselves beyond where we're already comfortable, and I encourage you to try mixing some of the media in ways that we haven't done before. So if there are any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, start compiling and assembling all your materials.